Hey guys, sorry to just spring this on you, but I didn't decide I was going to do a video until a few minutes ago. So I need to wait till people get here. I know it's usually better when I give a warning because nobody's ready. But I was, since I saw Kathleen's tweet, I figured, oh, I better talk to people because I know people are going to be upset or revolt or what. So I just want to keep everybody calm. So sorry for no notice, not even late notice, no notice. But I don't want to be on too long, so hopefully people will show up real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started because you can always go back and watch. So, first time I've been here in a while. How's everyone doing? Oh, thanks. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so when I saw Kathleen's tweet, honestly, I couldn't even be upset because I was too busy being shocked because I wasn't expecting it. Now, her tweet, that's not her guessing. She knows. Okay, there's no way she would just guess at something like that. And obviously I started questioning that right away because usually the lawyers aren't given advance notice when a judge files an order. But then I thought about it, and this is a little bit of a different situation because the Court of Appeals still has jurisdiction. And one of the things it said in the remand order was that the Court of Appeals has the right to review anything that the judge writes or orders with regards to the supplement. So that could be what happened. I mean, it could have been sent to, she could have written it, could have sent it to the Court of Appeals, and maybe that's how Kathleen knows what it says. Not sure, that's just a guess, but it's possible. Either way, I'm pretty sure that that's the decision. Like I said, I don't think she'd just be putting that out there. The other thing that was surprising was that, she didn't seem to be bothered by it too much. So here's why, or my guess as to why. Number one was that the initial request that started all of this was that Kathleen wanted the CD to be added to the official record. And it was remanded back to the circuit court for fact-finding regarding the CD. So ultimately, no matter what the decision is, that was accomplished. Now, as far as the other stuff that she all presented, that could have been seen as outside the scope of the remand. And at this point, it really doesn't matter because that's all added to the record as well. So one of the reasons why it's actually not necessarily bad news is because if the evidentiary hearing had been ordered based on the supplemental information, that would mean that only that information would be presented in the evidentiary hearing. But what about all of the stuff that she filed in the original petition and all of the motions for reconsideration or the motion for reconsideration and the supplements amendments? That would just be there. It'd be gone pretty much. And so I would assume that ideally Kathleen wants it all to go in front of the Court of Appeals and wants them to make a decision on all of it. Because if she has an evidentiary hearing, she wants it to be on everything. She wants to cover all the bases. So in that respect, it's good because, she wouldn't really want to have an evidentiary hearing and then just on one thing and then have it be denied. And then what about all the other claims? I mean, I don't know what would have happened to him, to be honest, but it would have been more confusing for sure. The other thing, and this is probably if I had to guess, this is probably the number one reason why she's not too broken up about this. And that is if it goes back to the Court of Appeals and the Court of Appeals orders an evidentiary hearing, guess what? Not only is all that information going to be allowed in an evidentiary hearing, but she gets to ask for a new judge, which we all know is what she wants. Because even if Judge Suckowitz had ordered a hearing, that would mean that she would still be the one responsible for ultimately deciding whether the conviction was going to be overturned or not. And I don't think that Kathleen had a whole lot of confidence in her. I don't think anybody does, really. So this way, if it goes to the Court of Appeals, and it's still contingent on the Court of Appeals reversing her decision and ordering a hearing, but if and when that happens, then she can get a judicial substitution, which was the goal to begin with. So even though everybody was hoping for a hearing, it's not all bad news that it was denied. Um, oh gosh, I don't even know what else I want to say about this. Now, why it was denied, there can be a few reasons. The biggest one would be that the judge has already ruled on the Brady violation. The thinking was that with the CD that maybe it would be reconsidered, but I mean, she could just be saying, I already ruled on this, and now it's already in front of the Court of Appeals, so let them make the decision. And everything else could be considered outside the scope of the remand, which is possible. That was very unclear, exactly what they were going to allow her to present. So I'd have to wait till I actually see anything in the courts to know for sure, but I'm not really too worried about it because obviously Kathleen's not too worried about it. For anybody who didn't see her tweet, if I need to read that, it's in the group, but in case you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, Kathleen had tweeted a little while ago and said, let me just read it quick for those who haven't seen it. We cannot wait to get on with the appeal in a higher court. Maybe we'll send the flowers to ourselves this time. So she had to be a smart ass along with acting like it was no big deal. So that's a very clear statement that it's going back to the Court of Appeals, which means that the hearing was denied. So then what's next? Well, in the original remand order, it had said that she has 40 days from the date of the decision to file her appellant brief. So we're back to waiting for that 40 days. And obviously I don't have the date based on when the order is actually dated. If it's dated tomorrow, it would be around October 10th or something like that, 9th, 10th. So a little bit more waiting, but at least this way, like I said, all the information will be out there. Here's bugging me. And it will be all on the record, and one decision can be made about all of it. And she's not presenting, an eighth of a case when she goes to a hearing, because we really don't want all those other issues to be dropped either. So it's not, like I said, it's not all bad news. It adds a little bit of time, but if you really want to look at it that way, even if the judge had ordered an evidentiary hearing and even if she'd overturned his conviction, 6 months from now, well, the state was going to appeal it anyway. It's going to go to the Court of Appeals anyway. So no matter what, it was going to take a little more time yet. So this way, at least, she's taking it out of that judge's hands, which, if I had to guess, was the primary goal, to get everything on the record and to get it out of Judge Sutkowitz's hands. So she has 40 days. Now, if anybody's been keeping up with Kathleen's tweets, you probably saw the other day she tweeted that she's representing some of Larry Nassar's victims from the gymnastics sex abuse case. That it's a big case, so I was a little surprised. It depends on how many clients she's taken on. I can't imagine it's many. Now, for those of you who don't know, who don't follow me on Twitter, there are a few things in life I'm passionate about. True crime is one, law is one, and gymnastics is the other one. So I actually have two lists on Twitter. One is justice and one is gymnastics. So I thought it was kind of strange that my two worlds were colliding with this information. And actually, when I saw the tweet, I just happened to be listening to one of my podcasts where they were talking about the latest news in that scandal. So the thing is that, it made me wonder, how much more is this going to add to Kathleen's plate? Is it going to, hurt it all as far as making sure she can devote enough time to Steve? And honestly, it shouldn't make much difference, because all lawsuits that are due or that people want to file in the Larry Nassar case are actually due September 10th, which means I don't know when Kathleen was retained, but she doesn't have a lot of time. So it has to be filed by September 10th. So no matter what, she still has plenty of time to worry about Steve's appellant brief, because even though that case is going to be complicated and it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, like I said, once she gets Steve's appellant brief in, there's not much more she has to do other than filing the reply and then the orals. So I don't think it'll hurt at all. So if anybody was concerned about that, I don't even know if anybody knew that it's a big case. I don't know. I certainly do, but yeah, it went through my mind. So I thought maybe some others may be curious about that as well. So just wanted to cover that, so you know that whatever she files in that case has to be done way before Steve's appellant brief is due. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Like I said, I wanted to keep this short. Oh, people are asking questions. I need to scroll. Do I think that Judge A.S. would deny to get off this case? No. No, because she even put in her last, when she denied it the first time, she said that, once there's a conclusion in the Court of Appeals, then you can make the request again. Well, like I said, it says how long would it take now for her to get to the Court of Appeals? Well, the case is technically still in the Court of Appeals. They still have jurisdiction. So it's just a matter of she has 40 days to file her appellant brief. The state has 30 days to respond. As usual, extensions happen. We know this. And then she would have 15 days to file a reply. And then the court would decide whether or not oral arguments are warranted. I would think that they would be. I'm not going to guess anymore what any court is going to do, but I would think that it would warrant oral arguments. And then they would make a decision usually within about 6 months. So I'd say this whole thing will take another 6 to 9 months, I would think, to get a decision from the Court of Appeals. Yeah, I mean, when he said, be careful what you wish for, though, we're getting a new judge. And that is true. I mean, just because you get a new judge doesn't mean you're going to like that one any better than you like the other one. But I think that based on Judge Suckowitz's response to the original petition, that I don't think that Kathleen really thought that there was much of a chance with her. So I think that it's one of those things where it probably can't hurt at this time. Is there anything else? Let me see. I'm scrolling. Hi, guys. Will it be 3 district, 2 judges? Yes. Yes. There are 4 district 2 judges. One of them is Mark Undrum, and that would be a conflict of interest. So he will not be one of the judges. He shouldn't be, at least. But that would, because that would definitely fall under conflict of interest. So, and Paul, you already know the answer to this question because we already talked about this. Thanks for asking for everybody, though. Thanks, Jonathan. I didn't really plan on being back, but like I said, when I saw that tweet, I was like, oh boy, this needs an explanation. People are going to start to panic. And I just wanted to let everybody know that it's actually not the end of the world. It really isn't. There's still some positives, which I think Kathleen implied with her tweet. Like I said, she didn't exactly look all broken up about it, but I think like she'll just really be happy to get it out of the hands of this judge. And it would be better in the long run to have it in the hands of a different judge, assuming that judge is fair. Never know, but okay, so are there any other questions? This is going to be a short video. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what was going on. And if I'm wrong and that her tweet was just her just thinking that was going to happen, then I guess I'll get back to you if it's something's different. I will try to get the document. I don't know. I would assume it's going to be filed in the circuit court. I'm not really sure. So I'll keep an eye on the docket and I'll get a hold of whatever documents are filed. And I'm assuming it would be filed tomorrow. I don't know. You never know anymore. But I'll get it and I'll post it once I have it. Is that it? I must have covered everything really quickly. I was talking really fast, I know. I was kind of running around before I sat down to do this. All right, well then, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up. If you have any other questions, just post them in the comments. But hopefully that answered everything for you and everybody is not going to have a case of mass hysteria and worry about it. So, okay, then I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night.